I don't know what to say. Where do I begin? The yesterday's loss, I put so much on the coaching and a lot on the quarterback. First of all, let's talk about Gardner Minshew's performance yesterday. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles need to get this shit fixed. And it starts with this week getting Jalen Hurts back. Because Minshew, and I'm going to break some plays down. I got some plays where he's missed wide open targets. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're also going to get on to the I thought horrible call where Landon Dixon supposedly held on the offensive lineman that took away the game will touchdown. What was a great block, by the way. The refs stink, but we're not even going to talk about the refs. Let's talk about yesterday's game because I don't think I nailed it. I don't think I put the nail in it, like hit the nail hard enough into the wooden block. Okay, if that makes any sense. Yesterday was horrible. We cannot sit there and say that Minshew is a starting quarterback. Can we just acknowledge how important it is to have a franchise quarterback like Jalen Hurts? Can we acknowledge when people tell me that, oh, you can go and get another system quarterback, put him in that system that Jalen Hurts is running, and he'll be just as fine? Well, we learned yesterday that not all system quarterbacks can be put in the system and you magically become good. You got to have the right quarterback. You got to have the right mindset. You got the right mental toughness. What did I say last week when I said I don't have trust in Gardner Minshew to beat the Saints? People got on me. They said, "Oh, you're giving up on the season. You're a fair weather fan." But they don't understand. I never had trust in Minshew. Minshew proved to me yesterday that I still don't have trust in him. He made me more right. And I don't like being right. I wanted Mitchell to go out there and ball for me. To show me, hey, EC1, I can help this team. Trash. Horrible. It was bad. I want to break down some plays that I thought was very, very bad. Because when I watch these plays over and over again, it's just, I'm wondering if Jalen Hurts was in this game, would we win this game? Let's go to play number one. I don't think we nailed it on the head too much. But I want you to see how bad these play callings are, man. This is the first one. I'm going to play the first one. This one was horrible. If you tell me that a good quarterback makes this type of play, look at this shit. What the hell are you doing at? Again, this is bad. Let's watch that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first play. We still got way more to go. But watch this play. This is how important it is to have a franchise quarterback. Look at this. That's a bad throw. If you hit A.J. Brown, that's a touchdown. If you hit A.J. Brown, that's a touchdown. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, because we keep on saying that Minshew would be just as good as Jalen Hurts. Chris Sims with a stupid podcast telling me that this quarterback could make simple throws like Jalen Hurts can. Explain to me this. Oh, no. We got one more to show you. Let's go to point B right here. This is bad. Horrible. This is horrible right here. Well, that's the wrong one. Excuse me. My fault. I had to take out the sound because YouTube wants to copyright everything I do. Let me find the second one for y'all. I mean, it was bad. All right, here we go. I think this is the one. Let's see. All right, hold. We still got plenty more to go. Let's go. I think this is the one. This got to be the one. This was horrible. What are we throwing at? The things that I'm seeing from this quarterback show me he can't read a defense. That was a bad throw. You might have just taken a sack. Because if you're taking a sack, instead of throwing that ball, you would have been a lot better. Or you just throw the ball away. Then at that point, throw that ball away. There's no need to throw. There was nobody there. There was nobody there. Let's watch that one more time. Let's get one with no audio so we don't get YouTube copyrighted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the guy who did this. I'll definitely put his description in the name. But let's find it. Let's see this one. I think this is the one. This one was. Let's see. Is this the one?
What the hell was that, Gardner?
It's terrible. I'm trying to find where's the one that I took out the audio from, man. But anyway, you see the play. We don't gotta acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta acknowledge the plays. We don't gotta acknowledge he's garbage. And it goes to show you that this guy is an absolute joke. When people tell me that Jalen Hurts is just as good as Gardner Minshew. I'm sorry, Minshew is just as good as Jalen Hurts. Because Gardner Minshew will never be better than Jalen Hurts. I do this to you.
Jalen Hurts almost perfect this year on the postseason too. You gotta play him to lock up the division, don't you?
That, to me, is the only reason you play Jalen Hurts. If you need to win to get in, that young man has to be on the field as your quarterback if he is healthy enough to do it.
He looked mad today. He looked mad yesterday. Now, I'm no expert. I'm not saying, oh, everything's on Gardner. No, every game, you need your franchise quarterback to step up. And when I see things like where Jalen Hurts is sitting back and saying, why didn't he not play me? If he was cleared to go, you should have played him. I said it. I didn't think I thought they were being too cautious with him. Oh, some guy told me yesterday that he would sit Jalen Hurts this week and he would take a chance playing against Minnesota. You want to go into Minnesota? I'm not going into Minnesota. I'd rather play in Philadelphia and let Minnesota come to me. If you got to go on the road and you got to play guys like 49ers in St. Clair, California, you got to go somewhere like Minnesota. You got to go somewhere like Tampa Bay or Lambeau Field in that cold. Do I think Jalen Hurts can do it? Absolutely. But give me home field advantage. Jalen Hurts, bottom line, got to start this game. If I don't see him versus the Giants, I'm not going to be happy. Minshew was horrible. He's one of the worst backups I've ever seen. Yeah, I could talk about Lane Johnson Listen, Jalen Hurts had no problem when Lane Johnson was out for a couple days. Lane Johnson is not always going to be there. He's getting old in age. Newsflash for all you people. He's a great right tackle. I wish him the best. But this is not the first rodeo we've seen Lane Johnson go down. We won Super Bowls with our backups. Our backup offensive tackle. So I ain't trying to hear no excuses why Lane Johnson was out so Minshew get the play. Sorry. No. There was plenty of time in the pocket for him. He missed open, wide open receivers. When your communication with your receiver is not on point, you go to a receiver and say, hey, what do you want me to do? Help me out. Help me out, AJ. You know what I'm saying? Because AJ's been around the block for a while. He's been in Tennessee. He knows what it's like he knows what it's like to win with a backup. Ryan Tannehill's a backup. He's not a starter, let's be real. He might got started paid money, but he was a backup. And the fact that this guy blatantly threw the ball in a pick-6 game. It showed me that he has weakness. He doesn't have heart. He's a loser. He doesn't care. When your receiver is telling you to switch up the play and you're not able to do that, you can't be on that field. You can't be on that field. You got to go. We saw the quarterback make dumb decisions yesterday. And when people tell me that Jalen Hurts isn't a franchise quarterback, I say, well, if that's the case, then why didn't Mitchell win with this team? He had everything around him. The only thing he lost was his right tackle. Now, is Lane Johnson a big part of why? Listen, even when Lane Johnson was in the game last week, he was still terrible. Hey, I did not think he had a good game last week. A lot of people think he had a good game. Mitchell had a good game. It was horrible. It was absolutely terrible. He wasn't good. We need to stop trying to say he was good. He wasn't good. He was never good. He was always what he was. A third stringer. The Jacksonville Jaguar fans warned us that Mitchell was a problem and not a good problem to have. Last year, you go into the office wanting a starting job and you play like this. That's not going to get you a starting job. The only thing it does is make people turn to you and say, you really think you're a starter? You really think you're a starter? When you're making bullheaded decisions like this shit, man, you think you deserve to start for a team, man. You think you deserve to start for a team like this. This is terrible. It's one of the worst throws I've ever seen. Not the one of the worst, but up there. This is not a starting quarterback right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even a backup. Backup makes this play. What's he throwing it to? Who are you throwing it to? AJ not over there. He's over there. The communication was off. And it just showed. It just showed yesterday that you can't just put a quarterback into Jalen Hurts' system. You got to have your starting quarterback out for this week. I mean, you got to start him this week. There's no if and buts. I don't care if he's 100%. I don't give a damn if he's 85%. He needs to play. He needs to play. I don't trust Mitchell playing against the Giants. Because if they do decide to play the starters, we're done. We're not beating the Giants starters. Did you see the way they did Nick Foles? That was a statue quarterback. And they terrorized him. You need Jalen Hurts' mobility. You need a guy that can run the ball, also be able to throw the ball. You can't have a statue quarterback. This league, in this day league, you need a mobile quarterback, a gunslinger, someone that can get out the pocket and make things happen while they're on the run. When Jalen Hurts is in a game, teams fear him. They fear him. They don't fear Minshew. He stinks, bro. He's horrible. He does not have a good arm. He has a noodle arm. When people told me Jalen Hurts is noodle arm, this is a definition of a noodle arm right here. When you can't deliver your ball. That too. Look at this throw. It's terrible. That's not the worst throw. We got plenty more. Let me see if I edited them.
What the hell was that?
I gotta edit that out, but yeah, pretty much he said he sucks too. Throwing a Devontae Smith over the head isn't smart. The things that we seen from Gardner Minshew that we ask him to do, he can't do it. And that's why it's important to get Jalen Hurts back, man. When you don't got your Super Bowl MVP, when you don't got your lead quarterback, I'm not going to show no more clips. Because frankly, it's pointless. We all saw the game. If you didn't see the game, I advise you to go watch the game. You can go on NFL.com. You could find a subscription, watch the full game, go to fullmatchtv.com, watch the game yourself. Gardner Minshew played to lose. There was opportunities in the game where you had to make throws, and he couldn't. You don't win games when your quarterback can't come through. You don't win games when your coaching is not good. Now, I'm not saying Gardner Minshew, he's the reason why we lost this game. I can't sit there and blame Shane Steichen because they made Gardner Minshew better than what he was. But I do blame him for the running game. You don't run Miles Sanders for that much in this game. Why? Why is your number one running back not getting these carries? You can't tell me that you don't run your 1,000-yard running back when your quarterback is struggling. And you don't run him. That's setting up for failure right there. Wouldn't you make your quarterback more comfortable? I said in my video yesterday. When I made my video, I said you don't run your running back. Miles Sanders even have more than 10 touches yet. He's having his worst running. He's not even having he's having his best year, and you don't run him. People talk about his knee injury. I don't buy that knee injury baloney. They choose not to run him. You know what I'm saying? They choose not to run him. They put Boston Scott out there. I like Boston Scott, but he does not need to be running back. He needs to be a punt returner. It's okay doing once in a while when you put Boston Scott in the backfield. But when you do it constantly and you disrespect Miles Sanders, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. You need to run Miles Sanders. Teams in this league win championships by running the football and throwing the football. If you just throw the football, you're not winning games. We will get into the Vikings stadium and beat them. But yes, I agree. I'd rather proceed. You better hope Jalen Hurts is in the game because Mitchell ain't beating them. Never trusted him either. I think Mitchell stinks, bro. Tighten up because we coming for that first seed. The only thing the Dallas Cowboys are coming for is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. You Cowboy fans, man, let me talk about y'all. You know, the most dumbest thing I've ever heard from Cowboy fans today is, oh, why didn't your backup beat that Saints team? We got a better backup. Hold on. When their quarterback went down, we couldn't win with a backup. Your quarterback did it. And I will say this. Our backup is horrible. I never said I was a Minshew fan. None did I ever root for him, nor did I ever thought he was good. Those idiots did. Don't put me in the same conversation. Minshew was terrible from the beginning. But when you talk about backups, your quarterback went down, and it looked like you didn't need him. So to me, it sounds like your backup could win without your starting quarterback. Who is more of a system quarterback? Because you could plug someone in Dallas right now, and I think they do much better than Declan. Matter of fact, Declan has more picks, and he's leading in picks. And you want to talk about, oh, hold up, we're coming for number seed. The only thing you're going to see is Tom Brady in the playoffs. You're not getting that number one seed. Newsflash for you. Jalen Hurts coming back this week. And he's going to beat the shit out of the Giants once again. If you think Jalen Hurts is not going to beat the Giants this week, you're crazy. So what you need to do is you need to pray to the gods that Jalen Hurts is not ready this week, because if he is, you're going to be devastated. You Cowboy fans love to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Worry about your damn team, because the only thing you need to worry about is seeing Tom Brady in the playoffs, because they just won the division yesterday. The Panthers are not playing you. You're playing Tom Brady. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't see y'all winning that game. Boston Scott should be a punt returner. He's a good punt. He's better. Listen, I put him over Covey. I'm not liking what I see from Covey, man. Covey runs into kickers. That's another guy I was very disappointed with. You know, the fact that this guy does not get returns, man. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Easy One? What's good, Quasi? Great. My mom, she yelling at the cat in the backwards. If you hear loud, it's probably the cat. Cat's going crazy right now. Shit. Garner wouldn't do good in Dallas. Garner sucks. He does. He's horrible. Ignore the Cowboy fans. They will. Listen, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them. At the end of the day, we gotta take care of our business. We gotta take care of our business. It starts with getting Jalen Hurts back. That's the first thing that needs to happen. All this shit that the number one seed, I'm not worried about that. We need to be 1-0. And it starts with the Giants game. You got to play Jalen Hurts. If I don't see him, I'm not going to be a happy camp. You might see me in handcuffs. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because this is just inexcusable at this point. He's ready to go. There's no excuses why he doesn't need to be out there. I think he had enough time to rest and settle his shoulder. It's time to play an MVP. Because if I'm the Giants, I'm playing my starters this week. If I got a chance to knock the Eagles out of the number one seed, I'm going to do it. Because I know Dallas won't win. I know Philly has a chance to win. And that scares me more than Dallas. The last thing I want if I'm a Giant fan is to go in there and play my backers against a team that's going to play the starters. You want to, as a Giant fan, you want to knock Philly out the number one seed. Because you rather play Dallas than you rather play Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Jalen Hurts gets the number one seed. It's a long day for rivals. It's a long day for any team coming to Philadelphia. And everybody want to blame this defense yesterday. I thought this defense all played good. Did they have their best game? No. But you hold the team to 13 points? That's better than what we've seen. I'm not a Jonathan Gannon fan. I never was. I don't like his scheme. I still wouldn't hire him back next year. But when you hold a defense, hold an offense to 13 points all game, I got to give him respect. Are they perfect? No. But your defense being out there too long is a problem. And when you got a quarterback who's making bonehead decisions and can't throw the ball with accuracy, your defense gets tired. You start losing your mind because you don't know what the next play is going to be. It doesn't help when your offense can't score points and it's struggling to get something going. When you don't run the football, and that don't help either. We can take everything into consideration. The defense not played great, but they did enough to win that game. And I think if Jalen Hurts was in this game, we would have scored more than 30. We would have scored more than 13 points. Mitchell's horrible. I don't want to hear ever again he's better than Jalen. That Mitchell made ended yesterday. I wish somebody yelled at Mitchell again. Listen, I wish they tore his mustache off his face, man, because he needs to shave that thing off. You don't deserve a mustache the way you play. You're not a man. A man deserves a mustache. Jalen Hurts has a mustache because he's a man. You're not a man. You need to shave that shit off and become a baby face. That's what you need to be. You want to play like shit? You don't deserve to have shit. I would have packed his bags yesterday. He would have been out of here. He would have been cut today. I don't care about a backup. I had to send a message to the team. Mitchell would have been gone. That's not how we play. Why the whole NFL hating on us, though? Because we are the best team in football, man. We are the best team in football. When you don't got your starter, man, when you have no idea because your team is used to an MVP. Listen, people thought Jalen Hurts was just a system, and they forgot how important he was. We knew Eagle fans, as Eagle fans, we knew how important Jalen Hurts was. But when you're a guy that's looking in and when you're a guy that's looking outside of a team, you're an outside guy looking in this team, you don't realize how Jalen Hurts is very important to this team. Take Mahomes away from the Chiefs. You think they're the same? No, they're not. Take Allen away from the Bills. You think they're the same? No, they're not. Take Jalen Hurts, as you saw from this team. You think they're the same? No, they're not. When you have a franchise quarterback that's doing things, they help your team. When you don't have that leadership in the building, that hurts your team. Minshew's a great guy, supposedly, but he's not a leader. He can't lead the troops like Jalen Hurts can. He might give you a hoorah. He did a hoorah game where he was firing up the crowd. But it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, Minshew's not a leader. He's a follower. I wouldn't say follower. No, I'm going to take that back. He's not a leader, though. Jalen Hurts is more of a leader than anything else. No, in fact, he is a follower. He's not a leader. Would you need some big play to happen? He can't make it. That's not a leader. When you need a big play to happen, is Minshew going to lead those troops when you're down? No, he can't. And that's the thing, man. Minshew is not a leader. He's a great voice spokesman. He's a yes man. But he's not an alpha dog. We need an alpha dog. We need a guy that can come in there, lead the troops. You saw the defense. They rally around Jalen Hurts. The same way Nick Foles was rallied by the players. You know what I'm saying? That's why Jalen Hurts is very important to this team. They play better with him. I mean, to be fair, you can't take Lamar away from the Ravens. They suck. I agree. Without Hurts, the offense stops. The offense is pretty much dead. Devontae Smith's a man. Devontae's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Why the whole NFL hating on us? Same why they hating on us now. It's cool. I've seen this rodeo before. We are going to be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts is coming back, and I'm telling you right now, this guy's not going to miss a beat. You know, you got Cowboy fans talking about, oh, Jalen Hurts is going to miss a beat. He's not going to be the same. How do you know that? You better hope he does. Because even if he does miss a beat, even if he does look rusty, he's going to be 99% better than Minshew. Way better than Minshew. Rusty Jalen Hurts is way better than Gardner Minshew. This Eagles team is going to rally around Jalen Hurts again. And you're going to see that magic happen again this Sunday. I'm not scared of the Giants. With Jalen Hurts in the helm, I know he's going to take care of business. When you got a quarterback that's a leader, that can lead men, and can lead the troops, it makes a big impact for this team. And you saw why they were good. If anybody says that they can't lead this team, you don't know what you're talking about. Because you just saw how Jalen Hurts was very important. So, it is what it is. I'm not sweating it. I'm not nervous one bit. Minshew is over. It's Jalen Hurts' time to shine. Our army is Jalen Hurts, leader Nick Sirianni. Second is command A.J. Brown. Third is command Devontae Smith. Yeah, everybody on that team, but the rally around Jalen Hurts is what makes his team go. The engine is Jalen Hurts. He takes us as far as we can go. Everybody thought it was just the offensive line, the weapons around him is making this quarterback successful. No. Jalen Hurts is making that team successful. He's leading this team to greatness. That Cowboys game, that was a perfect example of team not being on the same page. And again, we can make an argument that these players don't like Mitchell, that they don't like him as a quarterback that can lead this team. He might be a great person, but they don't see him as a guy that can lead him. They can lead that team to victory. They don't see that as a guy that can come in there and when you need a big play and your starter's down, they don't see him as a leader. He got the cool mustache, the good hair, but he doesn't have the dog mentality in him. He says he does. He might act like he does. He gets you excited. But when you need a big play, you got to have mental toughness. You got to have the dog mentality in you. He only has the hoorah, not the hoorah in action. And that's what you need in Jalen Hurts. You need that hoorah and an action part. And that's what's missing in this Eagles team. The hoorah action is not in this team. The hoorah action is in Jalen Hurts. The hoorah has always been in Jalen Hurts. When he's been from Alabama with Nick Saban, when he's went to Oklahoma with Riley, when he's been with two different head coaches, he's always brought this team back. Because he's a guy that will lead his team. He's a great mind. He has a great work ethic. He wants to get better. And he's a guy that loves his teams to death. That's a franchise quarterback. We haven't had a franchise quarterback like that in a long time. Jalen Hurts is going to be the best quarterback we ever had, man. I'm telling you right now, he's like our Mahomes. He is our Mahomes. He is our Russell Wilson. He is our Josh Allen. He takes us as far as we can go. Mitchell is not taking us there. And I get it. Oh, he's just a backup. But even backups supposed to come in there and win you at least 2 games. Sanders is another trooper. Sanders is not getting enough opportunities either. The Miles Sanders needs to get more opportunities. If you don't like Miles Sanders, sit him on the bench or play him as much as you can. Let him walk. Or go get Sony Michel. If you don't think your running back is doing what he's supposed to do. You got 4 different running backs. And you don't even use them. 5 to be exact. Trey Sermon, Boston Scott, Gainwell, Sanders. So that would be 4 to be exact. And you don't even use them. That's what I don't get. We were supposed to get a lot more Trey Sermon. And we have not seen him since the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Why is he not playing? At this point, just release him and let him go somewhere else where he's going to be wanted. There's no point in putting him on a roster. How can this team not play like Sanders? He's a Pro Bowler. Yeah. No, I'd rather Sanders over Michel. I like Michel, but Sanders is a better back, in my opinion. But the play I really want to discuss, let's talk about the ref for a minute. I don't like blaming refs, but did you see that call where Landon Dixon got called for the holding penalty? I don't know if you saw that, but let me play that for you because this was one of the worst calls I've probably ever seen. How is this holding? Here we go. Give me a second. But again, how is this holding, man? How is this holding? How is this holding? That's not holding. How is this holding? That's a touchdown. He even says it. How is this holding? Let's watch that again. They're going to replay this. This ain't holding, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play one more time. Look at this play. That is not holding. He pushed him. That's holding? That's holding? That don't make sense. How is that holding? Explain to me, ladies and gentlemen, how is this holding? How is this not a touchdown? This should be a 13-7 game. Now, I'm not saying the reason that's why we lost, but that was a horrible call. These refs have been screwing up this Eagles team. They've been screwing every NFL team. And it's a point where I think refs need to be held accountable. They've been messing up with so many different teams between the Goddard missed face mask, cost us a game. The Dallas Cowboys game where literally Hassan Reddick punched the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands. That should have been our ball. And now this is a clear holding? Give me a break. Refs suck, man. I don't like blaming the refs, but that is not holding. Holding is this. How is this holding? That's just you losing your balance as a defender. He's pushing him on the ground. He's not holding on him. He's not pulling his mask. But I saw so many Saints defenders holding on receivers like crazy. Now, one time did they call that. But this is holding? This is holding? This don't make sense, man. This does not make sense. That is not holding, ladies and gentlemen. That is a blatantly terrible call. I don't understand how that's not a touchdown. Can someone explain to me in the comments how is that not a touchdown? And he even said that's a push. It's absolutely crazy how you can't get that right as an official. You can't get that right as an official. You get paid millions of dollars by the NFL league to get a call right, and you can't even do it. You know, when they would talk about that they would love to review these calls, I think this is a good idea. I think the NFL needs to review the calls because that's not holding, man. That is not holding. That should be a 7-point. This should be a 10-7 game. There should be no reason why that should be overturned. I mean, in fact, that touchdown should have stand. It's ridiculous, man. Sorry, refs like this, man. That pisses me off. They ruin football like that, man. I agree. We need Hurts. We definitely need Hurts, man. We definitely need Hurts. We got 5 people in the chat. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate if you did. If you don't, hey, still, I'm glad that y'all joined. Now the refs need to be fired, replaced with computers. Yeah, they need the Madden computers, right? No, I mean they just need to get reviews on top, off top. They need to get the perspective on top. Like I wish we can challenge these calls, man. Challenge these calls. Go back and review these calls. Because again, that is a touchdown. That is not holding. He did not grab him. He pushed him down. As an offensive line, you're told to finish the play. You're told to finish the defender. What is he supposed to do? Not block him at all? These refs are horrible, man. I'm not going to say that's the reason why we lost the game. We lost because the Minshew stinks. We lost because the play calling was horrible. We lost because we shot ourselves in the foot. We beat ourselves to the point that we lose games on purpose because we can't make adjustments. We can't deliver. We can't get out of our ways. And only time we lose, I've seen, is when we shoot ourselves in the foot. When we play horrible. So I'm not going to say the refs are the reason why we lost. But that was a horrible call. And I've been seeing a lot more, just not with this team, but other teams, where they're getting robbed also. They're not getting calls also that they should be getting. These refs need to be held accountable. That is not holding. That was not holding on that defender that Gainwell scored on. That was a complete bad call. You can't tell me differently. Why wasn't the game plan towards Minshew? I mean, again, yeah, it makes sense. When you don't run the ball too much, you know Minshew's not a guy that can throw it. And that just shows me one thing about these coaches, right? Are the coaches making this team better, or is Jalen Hurts really making these coaches better? Let's say Jalen Hurts, knock on wood, goes down with another injury, and this time we don't have him. Are these coaches, could they adjust? It showed me they couldn't. That really scares me. Because as a coach, you need to find ways to go through that. When you don't got your starting quarterback, you got to find ways to win. And these coaches, I like these coaches. But it just showed me yesterday. I don't know about y'all guys. It just showed me yesterday that Jalen Hurts is really holding this team together. He's a glue. He's your staplers. He's making this team legit. And you don't have him, you're not winning games. These coaches are not able to overcome those things. We've seen backups win Super Bowls. Nick Foles, former backup Super Bowl MVP. They were able to change things around to help him out. We saw yesterday they weren't willing to do that with Minshew. Now, I'm not saying Minshew was great. He stinks. But you could at least run the football to help him out a little bit. You could at least take some pressure away from him. You could at least design some plays to help him out. We were pass happy instead of running the football. That's what I don't like. If you really need Jalen Hurts to win you games, then maybe you're not a good coach. Maybe you're not a good offense coordinator. Maybe Jalen Hurts is the reason why you're succeeding. Now, I like Nick Sirianni. I like Shane Steichen. I'm not saying they're bad coaches. But yesterday showed me, are they really legit coaches? They could be good coaches, but that does not mean they're really good coaches. You know the difference between a good coach and a really good coach. A really good coach finds ways to win without their starters. Now, again, you can't take away the MVP quarterback and you can't replace him. I get that. But you can do things to help your quarterback out when you know he has weaknesses, and that is his throwing. Minshew doesn't have a big arm. Minshew is not making you throw the ball. He's not going to throw the ball. He's not going to throw him with his power. He's not that type of quarterback. He needs that running game. And it just showed me yesterday that these coaches are not willing to change their ways. They're willing to fail. And they're willing to say, this is our system. This is how we're going to do it. You don't like it? Oh, well. And that shouldn't be. They had a bad game plan. They did. They need to really, really change their game plan. We didn't make any adjustments. We didn't run Sanders enough, but that has nothing to do with Minshew underthrown. Oh, no, it doesn't. Minshew was horrible. I stated that, Joseph, Jaden Christ. I stated that. I stated that. I did. And if you weren't watching, I definitely stated that. Because these throws are unacceptable. These throws are unacceptable. That was a bad throw. Those were horrible throws. That was one of the throws. I got plenty more. I'm going to bring them down on my next video. I got millions of throws from Minshew. This quarterback was horrible. I'm not saying he wasn't. But the game plan that you put around Minshew was horrible too. So when you have horrible quarterback playing, you got a horrible game plan from the coaches that all week to prepare for the New Orleans Saints, you knew Jalen Hurts wasn't starting, and you decide not to game plan at all. You didn't change anything. You just stuck with something that wasn't working. So when you got bad play calling and you got bad coaching with the quarterback play, you don't win games. You don't win games. You don't win games. You don't win games, ladies and gentlemen. You don't win football games when your play calling is horrendous. You don't win football games when your quarterback can't make throws that he needs to. But you also don't win games when you're put in a situation where your defense is out 24/7 because your offense can't convert. You decide to put an RPO around him. He's not an RPO quarterback. He can't run like Jalen Hurts. That's what I don't get. These coaches made him like he was Jalen Hurts. He's not. He's not even close to Jalen Hurts. We have a top 5 running back. Yeah, we do. We don't use him. That's the point. And you're going to have to use him in the playoffs because it's going to get cold. Philadelphia's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. It's going to get windy. It's going to get really, 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 really cold. This is where you run the football. In 2017, when we lost starting quarterback, and I don't like reverting back to it, but I got to bring that up because this is where good coaches come into play. When you had your backup, what did Doug Peterson do? They said this when he talked to Frank Reich. He said, "Let's switch it up. Let's go back to something that was working with Nick Foles. Let's go back to his tape. You couldn't go back to Gardner Minshew's tape, what he did in Jacksonville. You couldn't go back to what he did in college. You couldn't adjust. You had the exact same game plan that you had in Dallas. You didn't switch up. So all the Saints needed to do was watch your tape and say, we know exactly what you're going to do. And when you didn't adjust, they did. They did. And you were screwed from that point. Because if you wanted to run, they knew exactly how to beat you. They stopped your running and made Minshew now Minshew throw the ball. Go ahead. Throw the ball. We're going to press your receivers now. Go ahead. Beat us with your arm. Go ahead. Make us panic. Go ahead. See if A.J. Brown's going to come open now. We got Marshawn Lattimore. We got one of the top 5 corners on him. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go ahead. Try to beat us now. It wasn't working. And as a coach, when you see that, you say, you know what? This is not working. Let's try something different. Let's try something different. Let's try something different. Let's try something different. If something don't work, you try something different. I'm not saying Minshew was good. Minshew was horrible. But the game plan that you put around Minshew wasn't good either. I'm going to break that a little bit more down in my next video too. We're definitely going to be talking about this more. This is not the first time we're going to talk about that because this was unexcusable. We had a chance to win this game. He was, but Foles was also making appropriate throws and not throwing the ball covered receivers. Jaden, I don't know if you remember, but when Nick Foles played against the Raiders, he wasn't hitting anything. When he was playing against the Cowboys the last game, he wasn't hitting anything. Even the Falcons game, Nick Foles in the divisional round, he wasn't hitting his receivers like he was supposed to. He was missing a lot of them. Go back and watch Nick Foles. Why do you think they adjusted to what he was good at? Because he couldn't run a basic system. He needed that RPO system. See, we're so used to Jalen Hurts. We're so used to our quarterbacks being on the same page that we forget a lot of backups don't have the same things like Nick Foles does. Nick Foles was also a starter in the league. He's played for the Eagles before. So he knows what it's like to win in Philadelphia. Minshew doesn't. He's way better than Minshew, no question about it. Foles was way better than Minshew. But I'm just saying, when you don't have a game plan to help Minshew, you're not going to get good results. I'm not saying Minshew was bad. I'm not saying Minshew is excused. No, he was horrible. He does not need to be on the field. I don't want to see Minshew ever again. But your coaching did not put him either in a good position to succeed. When you don't got good coaching to help that quarterback out, when you don't run the football and not take pressure away from the backup that's struggling, when you don't see that, and you're on the sidelines like Nick Sirianni, you're on the sidelines, you're watching Shane Steichen call these plays. And let's talk about this also. Aaron Moorhead needs to go next year. I am tired of this dude. That dude should be fired already. I've never been a fan of Aaron Moorhead. I don't like his routes. His receiving as a head coach, he needs to go. I don't see any route running with these receivers. The receivers are running the exact same routes. I don't see any creativity. I don't see no jet sweeps. I don't see no screens that are successful. I don't see none of that. I think these receivers, AJ and Devontae, are making that receiving coach way better. And when you got a quarterback like Jalen Hurts who's putting receivers in the right position, because we got to understand, Jalen Hurts is not just a leader off the field. He's a leader on the field. We know about Jalen Hurts. We know where he comes from. He's been with great receivers over his career. He had CeeDee Lamb as college receiver. Now a top 5 receiver in the league. He has Devontae Smith, who he's played with. One of our receivers in Eagles history right now, who has 1,000 yards on the season because Jalen Hurts knows what it's like to win. But when you don't got Jalen Hurts and you're a receiving coach, wouldn't you try to adjust to help that quarterback also? I mean, we can go so many different ways. I don't like the receiving coach. I don't like him at all. He needs to go next year. I don't want him back. We need a receiving coach that's going to put our receivers in better situations. You give Quez Watkins a slant. Not even a slant. More like just run a route. Just run a route. No creations. No design plays. Nothing like that. Run routes. Just run a route. Go ahead, Quez. Go make a play. And some receivers need routes that fit them. Also, I don't like Quez Watkins' route running. Quez Watkins has been so lazy with his route running. Yeah, today, I'm really going after everybody. You could just call it Therapy Hour EC1 today. We're going to talk about a lot more. This should be Therapy Hour. Maybe I'll put that in my title today. Therapy Hour EC1. Because this should have never happened. Also, this would have never happened again if you ran Miles Sanders against Chicago. You probably would have Jalen Hurts right now. You probably didn't have to play the Saints with your starters. You probably wouldn't be in this position if you ran the ball with Miles Sanders. But you chose to run the quarterback. You decide to be a jerk and not run help your quarterback out. You decide to run him in a freezing temperature in Chicago. You did that because you wanted to be the smart one. Instead of running the football, you decide to run your quarterback like a running back, like he was LeGarrette Blount himself. And you forgot defenders know exactly what was coming. And when they laid a hit on Jalen Hurts, you should have stopped. And you didn't stop. You continued. And if I see Jalen Hurts taking more than 3 hits versus the Giants, I'm gonna walk down the Philadelphia, snatch Shane Steichen by his ears, and I'm gonna slam his head to the wall, and I'm gonna say, "Why do you keep running Hurts? I don't mind once in a while you run him for a quarterback sneak. That's great. Use his legs. I'm not saying don't use his legs, but when you run him 30 to 45 times a game, or you run him more than 25, you're an asshole at this point. You don't deserve to be an officer. You are continue to do the exact same shit that's going to get him hurt. And I don't like that. You are hurting my quarterback. You are putting my quarterback in a situation, and you're going to get our back. Then you start our backup, and you decide to think he's Jalen Hurts. So when Jalen Hurts wasn't playing, I hope these coaches, what's up, Bobby? These coaches learn to appreciate their MVP quarterback. Because now you know what it's like when you don't have a quarterback. You're not this coach that you think you are. You're not this offense coordinator genius like you think you are. You're not this offensive guru like y'all think you are. Jalen Hurts is really that offensive guru. He's really that all things that make things run. He's making you better, Nick Sirianni. He's making Shane Steichen better. He's making Aaron Moorhead the worst receiving coach I've ever seen in my pathetic NFL life as an Eagle fan. Today, especially. Because this guy needs to go next year. I don't see any creation with these receivers. When you watch them, do you see route running? It's like, what a smart route running play. What a genius. Way to dial that up, Aaron Moorhead. Wait to get these receivers on a bubble. Wait to get the receivers on a go route. Way to get the receivers on a cross pattern. I don't see none of that. I see slants, screenplays, going straight. You just got receivers that can just do these things. You don't have that with Quez. And our coach, it showed that he can't win without number one receivers. He needs number one receivers to make him look good. I'm starting to see that. When Jalen Hurts down the game, I'm starting to see it exposing a little bit. Now, I'm not saying this team is exposed. Because listen, when Jalen Hurts in this game, we are fine. But when you don't have it, it puts a glass. It's like a microscope to this team, and you find some things that you never thought you would see. That maybe Jalen Hurts is really all this time the real reason why we're this good. Just saying. I think Hurts could have played yesterday, but the Eagles were over being called. I agree with that. I've been saying that, and also underestimate this. I also underestimated the Saints and figured out they could win. They could win it with Minshew. The plan backfired on Minshew. Stinks, man. He stinks. He stinks, Bobby. I don't know if you saw this, but the dude wasn't good either, man. He wasn't good. You know, he wasn't good. I mean, these are horrible. These are horrible mistakes that your quarterback makes. Let me get the one without the audio so I can get copyright. Look at this. If you hit A.J. Brown, that's pretty much a first down. Like I said, I got millions of plays I'm going to upload on my stream. We're definitely going to talk about it. Just because we have Mitchell again. Because when people tell me Jalen Hurts is not a legit starter, and they think Mitchell can win, I'm going to send them these clips. And I'm going to make sure they understand who they're talking to. When you don't got this guy out on the field. By the way, I love Jalen Hurts' expression. This is how we're feeling today. We should be feeling this way. If you're not feeling...
Jalen Hurts almost perfect this year on postseason too. You got to play him to lock up the division, don't you?
That, to me, is the only reason you play Jalen Hurts. If you need to win to get in, that young man has to be on the field as your quarterback if he is healthy enough to do it.
Look how pissed he is. You know he wanted to play that game. So, Absolutely, Bobby. I agree with that statement. I think they're being very too cautious. And cautious could also get you hurt, right? Because caution can put fear in the quarterback. Thankfully, Jalen Hurts don't fear no weakness. He has no weakness. I don't believe he has in one. If there's a weakness on his team, it's without Jalen Hurts. He has no weakness. This kid is calm as hell on the field. I know if he's in a game, I have a chance to win every game. 99% chance I have a chance to win every game with him. With Minshew, not even 1%. I remember Foles, I agree. Minshew was awful, but I blame more of this on, and I was just talking about that. The coaching did not put him in the best position, right? Because the coaching, it just showed me, Bobby, yesterday that these coaches are not really geniuses like we can make them to be. We call Nick Sirianni a genius, but we use genius way too much. Genius head coaches go out there and they find ways with backups and they win with them. You can't win with a backup. You were struggling with a backup. I'm not saying Mitchell's great, but you couldn't go back to Mitchell's career. You couldn't look at what he did in Jacksonville. You couldn't look. See, that's what good coaches do. They look at Jacksonville's tape and they say, what is Mitchell good at? Let's take some of that. Let's take some of from what he did in college. Let's do what he did. Let's help him out until we get a starter back. Instead, you put a game plan that is beneficial to Jalen Hurts, not beneficial to Minshew. You basically put Minshew in a situation to run Jalen Hurts' offense. That sets up for failure. That sets up for failure right there. You put him in a Jalen Hurts offense. You try to run him when he's not a good runner. You did it twice. You try to QB sneak it when you know Mitchell's not a good quarterback sneaker. That's Jalen Hurts. You did all this. You not one time said to Mitchell, what do you like best? What is your comfortability? I didn't see the coaches go up to Mitchell and say, hey, Mitchell, what's happening, my man? What is not working? Are you not seeing the field correctly? Do we need to run it a little bit to help you out? What can we do to help you out? Help you adjust. In halftime, Nick Sirianni should have went over with Mitchell and said, what is going on? What can we help you out with? Because all you're doing is you're pissing off the receivers. You're pissing off the offensive linemen. You're pissing off the whole fan base that took time out their day. They took time off their work schedule. They took time off their family loved ones to go to that pathetic-ass stadium to watch that pathetic-ass team rip their hearts out. All for what? Because you didn't want to adjust? You didn't want to take what Mitchell was good at. And listen, Mitchell might not be the best thrower, but there was things you could do to help him out. The game plan was horrible. We're not going to sit there and act like it was good. Nobody, other than Jalen Hurts, would succeed in that game plan. Hurts' weakness, if he's run him too much times between defenders, he gets hurt. Yeah, I agree. That might be his weakness. Yeah, you're right. Also, you don't need a running back you don't need to run a quarterback all the time. Sometimes the smart decisions is to run your football with the running backs. Cool, you don't like Miles Sanders. You got Gainwell. Now, I don't know how you wouldn't like Miles Sanders. He's your 1,000-yard running back. He's been putting the work in this year. He has not gotten injured. He's not gotten banged up. He hasn't missed any games this year. I don't think so. You got the running back that you brought in. You don't even use him. You use Jalen Hurts. And if I see that one more time in the Giants game, I'm going to still think these coaches are assholes. You at this point are a jerk. You at that point need to lose your jobs because you're not helping your team. You are hurting your team, and you are risking the quarterback to get injured. If I see Jalen Hurts run again, and we're not running the football, and we're not helping him out, and we're deciding to run him even though there's no running lanes for him, you at this point are an asshole. You don't deserve to be a head coach or an offense coordinator. Because if you can't put your quarterback in best positions to win and you continue to try to run him when there's no running lanes and you run him too much, if you get past 10, there's no more running. Throw the ball. Run the ball. If I see Jalen Hurts run more than 25 times, you're an asshole. You need to be held accountable. Because we need him. So I need Shane Steichen to watch this again and remember, when you don't hurt your quarterback, you win. When you don't have your quarterback, you lose. And you lose your confidence as an offense coordinator because we know now that you can't win without Jalen Hurts. We know, Nixon, now that when you don't have Jalen Hurts, you can't win with Gardner Minshew. So now we know who the real guy is taking this team, who's really the leader in the locker room. You can talk all this about underdogs, and I like Nixon. I like his passion. I think he's a good head coach, but I think he's still young, and I still think he needs to still learn. He's still learning, and he's growing. He still has a lot more work to do to be one of the best head coaches. You know what I'm saying? He's still learning. He's still growing. We have still not developed these flowers where we can say these flowers are beautiful. These flowers are great. They look pretty. But they're also not getting taken care of properly. We need these flowers to grow. The roots need to grow more. That yesterday was not flowers. They were weeds. They were dandelions. They were similar like weeds. They're basically are weeds. They were crab grass. They weren't flowers. They were crabgrass. They weren't tulips. They weren't beautiful daisies. They weren't roses. They were crabgrass. They were leaves. They weren't beautiful. Those flowers that you planted last year are no longer here. Jalen Hurts is that soil. He's that water that grows these flowers. Just saying. Somebody shit on our flowers. Yeah, they definitely did. They took a big dump on it. It was the Saints, unfortunately. And it will be the Giants again if we don't have Jalen Hurts in this game. You got to play Jalen Hurts. If I see Nick Sirianni say, well, we want Jalen Hurts to be back and get no. We don't. It's not we want him. It's he needs to be back in this game. When you say that, it means that you're not confident he's playing this week. I'm not even listening to Ian Rappaport this week. I'm going to listen to one person only. Nick Sirianni. I'm not listening to these reporters. I don't believe these reporters. I believe one person only. That's my head coach in this until they say Jalen Hurts is officially playing this week on Sunday. That's the only thing I want to hear. It's Jalen Hurts is officially ready to go. And he's officially cleared to play. He needs to play. You can't admit you're back in this game. You shot his confidence. He's no longer there. Jalen Hurts got to play. With the Minshew Mania, magic is over. It fell flat. It's time for your quarterback to be back. Enough resting. I think he had plenty of rest. He looked fine to me. He had his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air outfit. He looked fine to me. He was doing this. He was doing that. He was doing this. He was doing that. He's fine. If he can move his shoulder, he's fine. He can throw a football. I can't believe he has come down to week 18 to lock up the number one seed. Yeah, we better win it too. The last thing I want is the sorry-ass Dallas Cowboy fans to enjoy a number one seed where they didn't deserve it. The Dallas Cowboys don't deserve the number one seed. The Philadelphia Eagles really deserve that number one seed. It's time to claim that number one seed. Stop playing around with it. We should have locked up on Christmas Eve. Yeah, we should have. We should have also not run a quarterback to the ground. But we did. That was what I said. Sirianni is still young. He is. He's also getting better. MC Philly, my guy, what's up? What's up, man? I think we're in trouble, idiot. Glenn Rivers, what's up, man? I think we're in trouble. Idiot Glenn Rivers, aka Doc Rivers, jinxed us. He had the G Ward guaranteed Eagles will be a Super Bowl. Now, I don't believe in jinx. I don't believe in jinx. I don't believe all that mojo shit. I believe we do our part, we're fine. I believe we do our part, we're fine. If you have Jalen Hurts, he is going to take us all the way. If you don't have Jalen Hurts, you can forget the number one seed, you can forget the playoffs. I'd rather Dallas come to Philadelphia than me go to Dallas. I'd rather Jalen Hurts play in Philadelphia with Tom Brady in Philadelphia than me go to Tampa Bay. Or me have to go all the way to Santa Clara and play the 49ers in the 49ers territory. I don't want to go away. Do I think we can win it? Sure. But give me that number one seed so I know I'm definitely going to be home with the fans. It's different when you're not in Philadelphia. When you go to a hostile environment, not Philadelphia. You want that crowd to be on your side. You don't want to go to another building and go on a road with no bye week when you need your players back, like Lane Johnson. He's huge. You need him back. You don't want to go on the road without having a chance to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, who is one of their best safeties. You don't want to go on the road without one of your slot corners back in Avonte Maddox. You need him back. You don't want to go on the road without Josh Sweat, one of your best pass rushers. You don't want to go on the. We can go on a list and a ram with all these things. But the bottom line is you don't want to go on the road. You want to clinch the number one seed. I was talking to the guy yesterday, and I was on FaceTime with We're Hiding yesterday. Shout out to my guy, We're Hiding. He eventually ended the call, but a fan told me, oh, I want to rest him one more week. Because, and I said, you want to go to Minnesota? Minnesota's playing good football. I'm not scared of Kirk Cousins in Philadelphia. I'm scared of him if we have to go to Minnesota. It's different when you have to go on the road and you have to play a team like Minnesota. It's different when they have to come to Philadelphia because they're not good on away team. They're not a good away team. They're good at home, though. They're good at home. That's a tough place to play. When I hear fans say, oh, I want to rest him one more week. Oh, let Minshew play one more. Why? Did you not watch the game yesterday? I don't need to see any more of Minshew. He's horrible. He's terrible. He makes Wentz look like a joke. Matter of fact, he makes Wentz look like a better quarterback yesterday. That is a Carson Wentz on the team, ladies and gentlemen. Minshew. The Nick Foles is Jalen Hurts. You need your guy. Just a little bit mobile with Jalen Hurts. And a younger version of a superstar. And maybe has a better chemistry with the players. Can play a full season. Maybe not this year because he got hurt. The guy was an MVP candidate. I don't want my MVP candidate to rest. He needs to play. I don't want to go on the road with the Vikings in Minnesota. That's not something I want. I want them to come to Philadelphia. I don't want to go on the road in Tampa Bay, not even Green Bay. I don't want to go in that traveling freezing temperature in Lambeau Field. Those are hard places to play in playoff territory, man. You might not come back with a W. You might go home. You need the crowd to be on your side. It's important to get that number 1 seed. It's important to have that home field advantage. It's important. And when you don't have that, you have a long road ahead. You don't get rest. Your starters are not going to be in. And you're probably losing that football game. Now, you got a better chance with Jalen Hurts, absolutely. But I'd rather have him with Lane Johnson as my right tackle than I'd rather have with Jack Driscoll. By the way, Jack Driscoll was horrible. Horrible. One of the worst right tackles I've ever seen. Matter of fact, why is he still here? What has he done for this team? He stinks, in my opinion. Next year, I'd rather go out and draft another right tackle. This is the case if Lane Johnson goes down, we got a Service Bowl right tackle. Because Jack Driscoll's been horrible. Horrible. Absolutely garbage. And then people tell me, well, put Andre Dillard. No, Andre Dillard does not need to be at right tackle. That's a bad disaster. Andre Dillard needs to sit where he's at on the bench until his contract's over, then go play for another team that needs a left tackle. When people tell me that you need to put Mailata at right tackle and keep Lane Johnson and put Andre Dillard at left tackle, are you trying to get Jordan Mailata to lose his confidence too? See, I think some people don't know what they're talking about. I'm not taking Mailata at a left tackle. Leave him where he is. If you want to do something, maybe you switch. I'm not saying you would do it, but maybe you switch Kelsey's replacement to right tackle. Maybe you try to help see what he can do there. That might not be the best thing, but it's better than Driscoll. Or maybe you switch that, you put, I don't know what you want me to say. Something other than Driscoll. Because he stinks, dude. He's horrible. I've seen that dude get beat like a drum. Bobby Murphy, even worse. The Packers are one and done. Driscoll was awful. What the fuck was our O-line doing? They had 3 false starts and they go, yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very, very disappointed in Jason Kelsey, man. I'm glad he owned it. He said, I don't care about the home field advantage. Well, I do. It's time to get your shit together. This is the 3rd time this has been happening for many years, man. And I don't know if his father's time's catching up to him. This is why it was so important. When people were bashing Howie Roseman for getting a center in the draft, this is why it was so important. Kelsey's not coming back next year. We needed that center because we are screwed without Kelsey. We already seen what's important to lose Lane Johnson. Next year, you might need to go get Howie Roseman might not take a defensive tackle or cornerback. A lot of people think. People already fall in the trap again next year. Talk about we might take corner, we might take. I'm telling you right now, we're going for right tackle next year. We're going for right tackle next year. You're not getting a defensive tackle in the first round. We might get one in the matter of fact, we might get one in the first round, but the second round, it's going to be offensive line again. I just want to prepare y'all for it. Lane Johnson is going to retire probably next year. I don't see his body holding up for that many years. He's getting older in age. He's one of my favorite right tackles in football. I love Lane Johnson. He's a future Hall of Famer. I will nominate him right now as one of the best right tackles we've ever had. He's up there, for sure. But next year, we need to address that right tackle position, for sure. There's a lot of things we need. And if there's a right tackle in the first round, don't be surprised if Howie Roseman goes and drafts one. You guys complain about these picks, but they're helping offensive linemen. I would not be surprised if Howie Roseman takes that dude from Bama next year. Not Bama, the Oklahoma dude. The right tackle that everybody's been looking at. Don't be surprised if we take one of the right tackles next year in the draft, in the first round. instead of taking a linebacker, instead of taking not a linebacker, a defensive end or cornerback. Because Lane Johnson, he's going down. He's going down age. I don't know how well he's going to play with his his injury. He's going to play through it. Listen, he's a tough soldier. I'd rather him take the surgery right now than wait and play through it, because I don't know how good he's going to play. But I'm not going to be surprised. Listen, you got to understand, Eagle fans, we're not going for defense next year. We're going for right tackle next year. You got to build that offensive lineman. If you want Jalen Hurts to succeed, or any quarterback to see, you need to build that offensive line up. Kelsey's going next year. You already got your you already got your right tackle next year. You got your left tackle next year. I mean, not your right tackle next year. You got your left tackle. You got your center. You got your guard. Isaac Seumalo's a free agent. You need to address that. Lane Johnson might retire next year. That is going to probably be one of our picks. Bobby, I just saw your comment. Definitely going to read that. I'm drafting right tackle with the first overall, no doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've been looking at the Alabama kid, one of the guys that are coming out. There's a lot of left tackles that are coming out next year. One of them I've been looking at. Not left tackle, or right tackle, excuse me. Right tackle. I've been looking at him. It makes sense to draft for one in the first round. Because what is more important? Getting in defense van or helping your quarterback stay up? I think it's more important to get a right tackle and draft the second round. In the second round, go defensive tackle. There's going to be so much I'm telling you right now, this defensive class is going to be good again. I just saw this draft. There's going to be a lot of good safeties next year, a lot of good cornerbacks next year, a lot of good receivers next year, a lot of good quarterbacks next year. This draft next year is going to be stacked. You probably can get your right tackle next year. You probably can get your defensive tackle in the second round. You probably can get your safety, and they all will be legit. Y'all need a better backup quarterback. We're going to have a start. It's all right, man. It's all right. What's up, NYG31? We don't need a better backup. We got Jalen Hurts. We're all right. Jalen Hurts is playing this week. He'll be all right. However, I'm saying even though Foles had his bad game, from what I remember, Foles did a little bit better than Mitchell. Oh, absolutely he did. He did, but he still had some bad games. And it just goes to show you where it's a point to have a good backup. You know, NGYG31 pointed that out. It's good to have a good backup. We don't have a good backup, unfortunately. We got a horrible backup. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, you know, when you don't got a good backup, things happen. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. The point of view would be not to get your quarterback hurt in the first place. If you just ran Jalen Hurts less and you ran Miles Sanders more versus the Bears, you probably wouldn't have got hurt. That injury would have never happened. But some reason you didn't want to do that. And now the consequences is you don't have your quarterback. And now we're desperate to have him back. Because 2 weeks right now, we have a quarterback that's playing like absolute ass. Trash. Garbage. Minshew does not need to start for another team. He sure hell doesn't need to start for the Eagles ever again. That's just the beating truth. Plus, Dillard will be gone, and Freeze said, well, I don't care about Dillard. We got Jordan Mailata. We're all right. Dillard can go somewhere else. I never liked Dillard. I think he's soft. But like I said, man, this draft is going to be very important. You know what I'm saying? I say we draft a right tackle in the first and defensive end in the safety. Yeah. Let's say, for example, right, scenarios, right? Will Anderson goes out. Let's say Will Anderson gets taken, because I'm thinking he's going to be taken before the Eagles pick. Let's say you get a best right tackle. Don't be surprised, Howie Roseman. People are not going to like it, but Howie Roseman is going to take right tackle in the first round. We are falling on the trap again that we're going to go at the corner. We're going at the defense. We don't go corner first round. That's not Howie's momentum. That's not how he rolls. He builds the trenches first. He goes after offensive line. We already got defensive tackle. We got Jordan Davis. That's your defense tackle. We already got a pass rusher, Josh Sweat. We got one in free agency, Hassan Reddick. I don't think we're going for one in the first round. Now, would I like it? Absolutely. I would love to get a Will Anderson. And if he is there, I'm sure Howard Roseman will take him. But if he's not there, I don't see the Eagles taking a defensive tackle into the second round. I think it's smart to take a right tackle that you know is going to be good for a long time, that's going to be replaceable just in case Lane Johnson does not come back next year. Lane Johnson's what, 32 years old? He's breaking down. You need a guy that can come in there just in case if he goes down. Maybe let him learn next year. In case Lane Johnson does come back, you let him learn, sit him behind him, let him learn from the great Lane Johnson. And then when he's done, you got your right tackle the following year. Got to think like that, man. Got to think like that. But you know, it might take a chance on Garner Washington because Washington loves playing this game called rent quarterback. Wouldn't that be funny if Garner Mitchell was starting quarterback for the Commanders? Shit. Hey, take him. Shit. They're not winning more games. Ron Rivera's gone too. Ron Rivera's getting fired. There's no way he's making it through. No way. Ron Rivera's getting canned. He's going to get fired. I don't see him making it through. I think he gets fired in the next few days. You're going to see that news. You're going to see that news. But we got to take care of business, guys. We really got to take care of business. I'm not saying this team's over. We're not done. Let these Cowboy fans say we can't win against the Giants. They better hope Jalen Hurts don't play. They better hope that Minshew is starting once again. Because if he does, they have a chance. If Jalen Hurts starts, they don't have a hell of a chance of winning that number 1 seed. It's going to Philly, and it's going to go through Philadelphia. They're not going to be seeing that number 1 seed. I promise you they're not. But let them talk. I see a lot of Cowboy fans talking. Talk about they got a better backup. Okay, congratulations. You got a better backup than us. Wonderful. Congratulations. Golf clap. Congratulations. I don't get it. I mean, yeah, Cooper Rush, I'd take Cooper Rush any day over Mitchell. You're right, I would. It's a much better backup than him. You're right. Congratulations. Is that what y'all want to hear? Y'all feel proud because you have a better backup? We got a better starter, though. We got a better quarterback, though. And your quarterback, on the other hand, Dak Prescott, has thrown more picks than touchdowns. Instead of worrying about the Philadelphia Eagles and that number 1 seed, y'all need to worry about if Dak Prescott's not throwing interceptions in more games, especially the playoffs. Because Dak is still still throwing bad interceptions. And it's in year 7. He's regressed. He's regressing like Carson Wentz is. And we've been saying that for a while. I know when I see regressed quarterback, Dak is regressing. And they're too blind to see that. But keep talking. Because while my quarterback's only going to get better, your quarterback is going to be age 30, still throwing interceptions. And you never know. Dak might be gone. He might not be the Cowboys quarterback. Because, yeah, they paid him. But it is what it is. They're going to owe him a lot more money. So enjoy the backup. Enjoy the better backup. You're right. The Cowboys have a better backup than the Eagles do. How is that working out for y'all? How is it working out for y'all? Is it going to help you win a Super Bowl, though? If Dak Prescott goes down, who is going to win you a Super Bowl? You think Cooper Rush is? Y'all talk like y'all have a good backup. We seen your backup and you were ready to give up on him. Oh, he's just a backup. Nah, we got our quarterback back. But the difference is your backup could win. Our backup couldn't. And that's the problem. Y'all talk for someone who's going to be very. If I'm a Cowboy fan, if I was you, if I was y'all Cowboy fans, I would get ready for Tampa Bay. If I was your coaches in Dallas, I'd be getting ready for Tampa Bay. Get ready to face Tom Brady. Get ready to see the couch. You should not be in Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. You're not. We're going to see Tom Brady again. We are going to. Let me tell you, the Eagles are going to face Tom Brady in the divisional round. It's going to happen. We're going to face Tom Brady, and we're probably going to face Brock Purdy. And we're going to beat both of them. if Jalen Hurts plays. I'm going to say one more time. We will probably see Tom Brady in the division round. And I think we will see Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship game. Or if we don't, we'll see the Vikings again. And we know how to take care of them. Jalen Hurts owns him. They own them. You guys, on the other hand, have to go through Tampa Bay. And you still got to travel. So you better hope Minshew plays. That's what you better hope. You better hope the Eagles be little bitches once again and put Jalen Hurts on the sidelines. And I will lose my shit if that happens too. Because you're just playing to lose at that point. Yeah, it was Austin was so mad about missing the playoffs. Well, I don't know why. I mean, she knew she wasn't going to make the playoffs. When Carson Wentz was starting, you knew exactly what was going to happen. I'm not even trying to hear it. Commander fans were licking their chop. They were so happy they beat the Eagles, but they forgot the Eagles still got their number one seed. And they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to go farther than the Commanders. See, yeah, you did beat us. So did we. That one loss to the Eagles is the reason why you're eliminated, Commanders. Remember something. Enjoy that Super Bowl. That you're hyping on the Eagles fans. How about look at Taylor Heineke owns us. You know, when Taylor Heineke was doing this play and celebrating just to get benched and not make a Super Bowl run, when he was doing this, oh, that was wrong play. My fault. It was a bad play too, but this one right here, when he was doing this. Oh, here we go.
Throw on 3rd down and 7. Instead, Heineke wisely, and now a flag. Wow. And that's going to, in essence, end the game.
Yeah, when you were doing that, you also missed the playoffs. All that just to miss the playoffs. Cool. Bro, the Washington game was a fluke. It really was. They won because of that ref fucking bullshit call. I don't care what anybody says. That they refs literally helped them to win, and I don't care what anybody says. Wentz threw 3 picks. He's terrible. He's horrible. Bobby was right. Wentz is trash. We knew that. I'm glad we got Jalen. I'm glad we got MVP. I'm glad we got this dude. I'm glad we got MVP. I'm glad we got this dude right here. It's important to have a franchise quarterback like Jalen Hurts on your team. Now you know what it's like to not have a franchise quarterback. We've seen quarterbacks. People think they're growing trees and they don't. And that's why I said when people think that it's easy to replace Jalen Hurts, it's not. It's not. You know, for the people that didn't believe in Jalen Hurts, they need to now because they need the Eagles to win. If they're an Eagle fan. If you're an Eagle fan, you got to understand Jalen Hurts is really the glue of this team. I don't know what you're watching. You think Mitchell's still glue of the team? Couldn't even win against the Saints. And the Saints are bad. And they missed the playoffs too yesterday. They were eliminated also. They won their Super Bowl also. So every game that the teams have won, they've been eliminated. The only one who hasn't yet is the Dallas Cowboys. The Commanders been eliminated. They beat us. The Saints beat us. Eliminated. They beat us. The Cowboys are about to be eliminated. Round 1. They beat us. See how that works? You see how that works? They get caught up in the moment and they forgot the real importance. You got to finish the job. It's no good just to win against a rival. You got to finish the job. We are the juggernaut. Like my boy Wade Hayden said, we the juggernaut, bitch. We control our own destiny. Shout out to my guy Wade Hayden too. Definitely go subscribe to this channel. It's great Eagles content. You see one podcast, Chahadrian podcast yesterday was horrible because I couldn't really talk. I was so depressed yesterday. I was cursing nonstop. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Definitely going to get another episode just with him and I, sometimes with Big D, sometimes with his brother. Mix it up. You know what I'm saying? So if you definitely love Eagle content, you love what I'm providing, definitely go subscribe to my other guy, Wade Hayden. He's more passionate, probably more passionate than me. You don't want to miss it. Definitely go subscribe to Wade Hayden. Chris Sims looks like a fool. Chris Sims is an idiot. We don't even gotta discuss him. He's a nobody. He's like a bubble. He's like a bubble that you pop. Really, be honest, he's a bubble. I don't even could take him seriously half times. Today they asked him, and he said, "Oh, they didn't help Mitchell out." Okay, you told me that Mitchell could go in against Jalen Hurts and pretty much do what Jalen Hurts did. So to me, what it sounds like is you can't admit that you're wrong, and I have a problem with that. Because as a man, when you know when you're wrong, you admit that you're wrong. You apologize. You keep your things in order. And the fact that you don't want to admit you're wrong, I can't stand him. That to me is a loser mentality right there. That I can't listen to people like that. When you don't have the mentality as a man to say, you know what, I'm wrong. What I said was stupid. I admit that. When I'm wrong, I will admit to someone. I will apologize to you. I will say, I'm sorry. And if you don't accept it, you don't accept it. That's just the way it is. But I can admit when I'm wrong. He can't. You can't admit your mistake because you said out your mouth, if Mitchell was on this team, we will be just as good as Jalen Hurts. That you can plug and play any quarterback in their scheme, and they would be just as good as Jalen Hurts. Well, it showed yesterday that was absolutely inaccurate. And you said today, they didn't help Mitchell out. Oh, Mitchell don't need help. He has everything around him, right? The best offensive line in football, the best receiving core in the league, the best defensive line in football, I suppose, right? He don't need help. He has everything around him. That to me is why I don't listen to clowns like that. When you can't admit as a man that you're wrong, and you choose not to sometimes, and I think he chooses not to, that really makes me mad. There's nothing I can do. But I can say this, you're an idiot. You don't need to talk football. And if I was one of the Chris Sims producers, I would just say, stop talking, Chris Sims. Stop talking. You sound like a fool. You sound like you don't know what you're talking about. When you make comments like Jalen Hurts, it's just a system quarterback. When Micah Parsons said out his mouth that he's just a system quarterback, well, how's that system quarterback working out now? Because to me, it sounds like Jalen Hurts really was the system. He is the system. If Micah Parsons was so good, if everybody said was true, then why did Mitchell not succeed? Jalen Hurts expected to play against the Giants. That's good. That's good. That means we're definitely going to win. Listen, Jalen Hurts plays this game. We win in this game. I don't feel no John. Play the starters. I don't care. You want to play your starters, the ball? Go for it. Brian DeBall will be dumb enough to play his starters. You know why he's going to play his starters? I'm going to tell you why. Because Brian DeBall, the way we treated him on his field, he's going to want revenge. See, the media builds up these players, man. They really build them up. That's why they made it a 4:30 game. The Giants are playing the starters this game. I'm going to tell you why. Even though they locked the NFC, they locked their 6th seed, they want to take away the Eagles' number 1 seed. Say they know Dallas is not going to win their Super Bowl with their number 1 seed. Dallas is going home. They don't want to come to Philadelphia. They'd rather go to – listen, it's easy to win in Dallas if you're a Giants fan. They go to Philadelphia and play against a team that you really are not good against. You have a better chance of beating Dallas in Dallas than go away in Philadelphia in the cold. Say you make it. And play a Philadelphia team that's hungry. That's a quarterback that really can torch you. See, no one really scared of Dak Prescott. Prescott's going to throw picks left and right against the Giants. He threw, 3? Jalen Hurts didn't throw none. They had no game plan against Jalen. They had a somewhat game plan against Dak. That's the difference between a franchise quarterback and a quarterback that's really a system quarterback. Because the back was able to win with Dak's weapons. Who's really the system quarterback? We can make an argument that Dak really is a system quarterback, not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is really the system. When you look at quarterbacks in the league, who do we look at? We look at Hurts. We look at Mahomes. We look at Allen, Burrow. All these quarterbacks, when you take them off the team, they're not the same. You take Dak Prescott for at least 4 games Their backup was winning games left and right for them. The only time they lost them was the Philadelphia Eagles game. We were just a better team. We had a starter. Y'all can win with your backup. Your backup played just as well as Dak. So who really is the system quarterback? I want Calvin Consecrated to talk about that. Why didn't your backup not crumble? Because your backup was able to win. Your backup was able to do is just as good as Dak. Just as good as Dak. He won 2 games. Meanwhile, our backup couldn't. No one misses a beat when Dak's not there. Actually, if you want to argue, they might play better than when Dak is not there. Just saying. Just saying. Before you Cowboy fans open your mouth, remember who your quarterback was. This was the same one who beat the so-called Super Bowl champions. The same one who beat the AFC Championship Bengals, right? Who beat the Commanders. Who beat the Giants. My man. And Michael Parsons is the next LT. Why does Hassan Reddick have better stats here? Facts. Michael Parsons overrated. Never thought he was elite. He has not had 1 sack against Lane Johnson. Let's just remind you all the people that he still hasn't had a sack yet. Has Michael Parsons even had a sack yet? This all 4 games yet? Has he even had a sack? Has he even had a sack? Who is even Chris Sims? Don't worry about it. Clown. Jalen Hurts expect to play against the Giants. That's good. And Wentz threw 3 picks. Wentz is a bum. But it's pretty much what I all want to say, man. Listen, just stop listening to these Cowboy fans. We are fine Eagle fans. I'm not worried about Hurts. I know he's going to play. They got to play him. It's a no-brainer. If you don't play Jalen Hurts, you don't want to win, period. Simple as that. Simple as that. We got 5 people in the chat. Hit that like button. I appreciate y'all. Y'all really mean a lot to me. Y'all really do. This channel doesn't go anywhere without y'all. I appreciate your support. The grind is never going to stop. We're going to talk about it more. For sure, down the road. We got a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we could talk about another Lombardi. Another Super Bowl hat, man. I want one of those. I want another one of those. I want another Super Bowl hat. I want another Super Bowl hat, man. This is the goal. This is the goal again, man. I want another one of these. You see that? Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. I want another one of those. But we only can do that if we only have our quarterback. And you got to play him this week. I don't feel good going with this, the 5th seed. We need that number 1 seed, period. I appreciate y'all for liking, subscribing, hitting that subscribe button. For the people, shout out to y'all, man. I'll see y'all later on the next one live stream. Peace out. Go Birds. Let's get that W. Let's get the number 1 seed. And I'll see you.